one of your biggest songs with R. Kelly is called Gigolo. How was that experience? How did you meet?
So we were signed to the same label, but he also had, I think Drumline had just came out, so he was a huge fan of that.
Okay.
And we were both signed to Jive. And, you know, at the time, you know, besides the controversy and all that, R. Kelly, even outside being an artist, was one of the hottest producers and writers in the industry. Like now, it's hit records that we all know that people like don't want to say R. Kelly did it because of what it is. But he was just, I mean, he wrote "You're Not Alone" with Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So
Believe I Can Fly.
Yeah, like so I went to Chicago. And like the way R. Kelly would work, he would make you, he was like, you got to work for these hits. Like, and so he didn't care who you were, what celebrity, he would make you wait 2-3 days just in the studio doing nothing while God knows what he was doing.
Right.
But like, it was like, he would, and then I remember this story too. I told this to Charlie Wilson. He would play midnight basketball or basketball at 2 a.m. and make everybody from the studio, he had this whole private, you know, hoop and like, everybody had to pass him the ball. like he had to be Michael Jordan.
Well, he in Chicago, so he Jordan now.
Yeah, that's like, and it was like, this nigga had concession stands, like a DJ at 2 a.m. And you would literally see artists sitting in the bleachers waiting. I remember I saw this old black dude in a trench coat and a hat with these two ladies next to him. I was like, nigga, is that Charlie Wilson at the midnight basketball game? And he was like, I was just waiting for my hit. Like, he literally would just make people just sit around and wait while he playing, you know, fake Jordan up and down the court. But he was like, everybody who was hot. So I got my turn. And it's funny, the way Gigolo even happened, stuck me in this studio waiting all day and I had to get back to New York. And I was like, I had the beat, but I'm waiting for him to, you know, do the hook or whatever. And I was like, man, I'm gonna just come freestyle these verses real quick and I'm out. And I kind of left disappointed. And then like 2 weeks later, the head of the label called me like, man, that song Gigolo is amazing. I'm like, what the f are you talking about? Like, I didn't make no song called Gigolo. And then he played it for me and R. Kelly had put the hook on. I was like, yo, that shit is crazy. And then that's the way it worked.
We've done this with other people. Other people have had transgressions, but have done contributed great things to society.
Yeah.
And we've been able to say they contributed great things to society, but they did some horrible deeds.
Yeah.
Why is it that R. Kelly can't get that?
I think he played in people's face one too many times.
Okay.
Because if you notice, originally, like even during that time, people kind of be like, even before that, everybody knew about Aaliyah. Yeah. Aaliyah's album was called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. All produced by R. Kelly, and she was 15. The world heard about all of they're married and all that stuff, and we was like, all right, you know, we gonna turn look this way, and, you know.
Right.
Then the tape. Now they got hardcore evidence.
Yes.
And you like, like I ain't watched the tape, I ain't see it, it ain't happened.
Right.
I Believe I Can Fly. Right. Then he came with Ignition, Step in the Name of Love, and Our Hearts Brigade, and just focused on the music. And then he came back out again after people had overlooked those two things. It's like, come on, man, you can't keep, like, just women in general. Like, and that was his core audience.
Yes.
To be like, you keep disrespecting in our face.
Right.
Like, and we don't see any empathy. We don't see any atonement. We don't see any change. You're still out here in the club and like, and even if you analyze the actual, you know, crime and punishment, I feel like that was just and even I feel like that with Puff as well. Like, you was on trial for your karma. You wasn't on trial for what actually just happened. Like, that's that thing where so much time, like, you could have repented, you could have atoned, you could have made it right, but you chose to play in people's faces. Right. I think, and I probably would think, you know, hindsight, they were probably like, I would have handled that differently, because there's a way to be like, oh, I'm sorry, or I apologize, or not, but to actually truly atone, like, that's a process that I've learned. Is like, when you got to be sincere in saying, man, I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong, sincere. And I'm not admitting that I was wrong because you caught me. Right. I just sincerely wish I had made better decisions, or,
Yes.
or there was real growth there. So I don't think we saw any growth.
Right.
I think if we would have saw growth in that process.
At the start of every new year, I set my goals. I tell myself this year I'm eating right, I'm working out, I'm working hard, staying on track. Then the reality hits. Work, travel, cravings, distractions. Life just loves to test your focus. I've been there. I've fallen off, but I don't stay down because Amazon helps bring me back up every time. Amazon is here to make sticking to your goals easier. From healthy snacks I need to workout gear I like to have on hand. All of my everyday essentials are available to purchase in one place. Not to mention, I can get it delivered fast so I don't have to worry about making a trip to the store and adding to my already busy schedule. Great prices, no running around, no extra hassle. Now that's convenient. So when life tries to steer you off track, Amazon can help get you back to the plan, focus on your goals, and stay on your grind. Save every day with essentials from Amazon.
Then we might be a little bit more forgiving. But I think what people have learned to do is separate the art from the man.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So to say that, oh, now his music is trash because he was because of the horrible things that
Then
he
you
did.
got to throw the whole music industry away.
Yeah.
You got to throw
For sure.
You got and start with rock and roll.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, our founding fathers had some transgression, had some issues.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, shoot, James Brown wrote the first diss record where he called the Big Payback, where he went and shot up a club himself. It's like messing with my girlfriend. like, so we know if we sit down right now and look back about what James Brown did, or Jerry Lee Lewis, or all of these people that I ain't gonna say their name because then they're gonna be sending me cease and desist.
Yes.
But if you look, just do your history, the entire music industry is flawed. And then that takes me to that space where it's all about spiritual warfare at the end of the day, because we know that, there's when artists and all that start allowing those spirits in, and that self-absorption, that egomaniacal energy starts to play out when you got nothing but yes men and you don't think you can. And we see it play out time and time again with our entertainers. So it's just we got to wrap our arms around them before they get to a space where it's too late.
You got a lot of backlash when you put Chris Brown in your basketball movie, She-Ball.
Yeah.
How satisfying is it to see him bounce back from something that happened 20 years ago?
Man.
And it seems like the industry will not let this man move on with his life. They keep holding him. And it seems like she's moved on. She's happily married or with her situation. 3 beautiful kids. He's been doing great music, but he seems like he's finally starting to bounce back. Hopefully they let him get on the stage at the Grammys, and eventually maybe he can do the Super Bowl.
That's my brother, man. I'm so proud of that dude, not because of any accolades. Like, I've known this gentleman since he was 15 years old.
Yeah.
So I know the person.
Yes.
And like we just been talking, man, like you get into spaces sometimes and you can, like the energy can just overtake you in a way that you find yourself like, how did we get here?
Yes.
Yes. And I've spoke on this many times, but I can't throw nobody away. You know what I mean? And like, it's the same thing with any of my blood brothers. Anybody, I can disagree with how you moved, for what you said, what you did, but I'm never going to disown you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so the fact that, and I think that I'm hoping, but that canceling energy, and that's why I created the platform. It's like, it's not about cancel culture, it's about counsel culture. It's in times of need, is when we need to counsel one another and bring everybody in. But for whatever reason, it's more self-satisfying to the majority lower frequency to come in and say, oh, you over, or we gonna get rid of you, or you did. Now, granted, it's just as much as it's about counseling, it's about accountability too. So whatever you did, you got to own up to it.
Got to own it.
But if you don't atone in that process, then of course you're going to do it again.
Yes.
So the fact that we can continue to watch this young man rise and watch this young man win, and the talent is next level.
Oh yeah. We're not denying that.
Yeah. So the fact that I don't know, man. I just hope that we're moving towards a place in society that we can embrace each other with love and sincere compassion, opposed to anger and fear and detriment to someone's career because of whatever they've gone through. And I think if you approach things, and that's what I've been doing a lot of work, obviously, in the mental wellness space. If you approach it from like someone is, I don't want to use the word sick, but if someone is working through something in that way, you handle people who have an illness with more compassion and care than you do with someone that you see as a villain.
Right.
So when they start to villainize people and call people monsters and want to throw them away and do away with them, and you start seeing all this vitriol and venom in the comments, you're like, man, is that who we really are as a people? Because we're all one.
Yes.
So is that how we handle one another? Because we all gonna fall at some point doing something. So the fact that the few phoenixes that can rise and change and continue to make the world a better place through, whether it's through their music or through their art, or I commend those people.
Right.
Like you gotta rock with people that have made it through the fire and actually are on the other side and want to do better and can admit those spaces that they've been wrong. Like that's why I always say, like, two of my favorite people on this planet are Bobby Brown and Mike Tyson. Because we've seen them at the lowest of the low. And you see them now today, such a calm demeanor, such peaceful individuals, such full of love, and have redefined what they want out of life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I kind of look at Chris in that same way, to where like, man, not every decision was the greatest decision, but if you know this brother's heart and you've seen the growth from where he used to be, man, it's a phenomenal journey, and I think he deserves everything, all the accolades and everything that he gets. And everybody who don't want to give it to him, fuck him.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.